So I'm not one who usually makes endorsements of other people's videos. I don't often mention other people I like or discuss. But I have to admit, Actual Justice Warrior put up a video I believe, yeah, it was yesterday, that really spoke to me, and I am going to promote it because I think it's important that everybody sees it. Now, even if you're not a person who follows the Young Turks, watches them, as I've mentioned in the past, I used to watch them very regularly until they started taking positions and doing things that upset me. So about 6 years ago, there was a gunman in Baton Rouge who killed several police officers over a perceived targeting of African Americans that a lot of various news outlets and other commentators would suggest was happening, where blacks were being hunted by officers. It was a narrative that was floated by a lot of commentators at the time. And this particular gunman, who I'm not going to say the name of because he doesn't matter, it's more so this topic that's of concern, made several videos where he responded directly to the Young Turks. And after the shooting took place and he was killed during this interaction, the Young Turks basically tried to completely negate their responsibility for radicalizing this man by copyright striking his videos in order to remove them from YouTube altogether. And when I say this, it's important this gets out, it's for two reasons. One, I remember the climate of 2016 where there were a lot of people who would attack me for saying that what I thought was a very simple position, which is, while there are criticisms that can be levied at police for their treatment of minorities, just people in general, there are a lot of instances of police brutality that we can critique and discuss. I think it's very disgusting that a group that calls itself Black Lives Matter does not address the multiple and the majority of black murders, which are by other African Americans. And I'd like to see that addressed as well. I was attacked nonstop for having that opinion. That was like an evil thing I was doing somehow. But also, there is something to be said when an organization or a person can be directly associated with a tragedy, and that organization or person tries to scrub their hands and pretend like the rhetoric that they had nothing to do with what this person did, even if we have proof that it did. To give you an example, for those that actually watch my stuff, I critique women and their romantic choices. And I always say it's not all of them. I always say I don't condone men that get angry at them for romantic slights and try to do something violent. I condemn that repeatedly. In a hypothetical scenario where there was, let's say, a guy who saw my stuff on them, became radicalized, and committed some act of violence, I would condemn it. I would say this is not what I'm trying to foster. People that do this are disgusting. This is not congruent to any of my desires. I wouldn't go, oh damn, this person killed people and they liked my stuff, let me copyright strike their video or not address this whatsoever. But the Young Turks can get away with that because when they hold streams, they usually don't respond unless somebody gives them some money. We now live in this internet hooker era where the only way to get your favorite commentator to talk to you is to send them some coins. And outside of that, they really have never been called to task for their role in this. And that is something that I'm glad is being brought up. I saw the original video on this topic when it first came out several years back, but it really just kind of seeped into the cracks and disappeared from all levels of prominence. And I hope that people will watch Actual Justice Warrior's video. I hope that more people will call out TYT for playing a role in that. And, we have to make this very clear. No one is trying to cancel them. No one is saying you shouldn't watch them if you liked them before. We're just asking for some very basic accountability. Jimmy Dore, for example, I've defended him repeatedly. I've said that I like his content. When he was slandered by Anna with a ridiculous allegation of erotic improprieties, we'll put it that way, I said that's bogus. But even as someone that likes him, I don't like his role in this story because there are multiple videos where he's the one talking that the shooter responded to. So hopefully we can also get him to acknowledge his role in this. That's really what this is about. It's not about canceling somebody, getting rid of them, none of that. It's just asking for a basic acceptance of the things that we have said and done and the consequences that have come from them. So I'm going to link his video, and I encourage everyone that sees this to go watch it. I think it's very important that this be shared around. We need to make an example out of the fact that you can't hide when something you do or participate in leads to lethal consequences for people that did not deserve their fate.